Hi my lovies and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my kind of like roundup of the year. I do this every year of like my favorites. So I go through both categories, high end and drugstore, and go through everything in each category from like, you know, foundations, primers, lipsticks, concealers, everything, and then go through like the most outstanding products basically of the year. And just because I don't mention it and it's something that I really love and you're like, you really love that and I've seen you use it a few times, it means I've mentioned them in previous years end favorites. So these are all new discoveries from 2018. They could be old or new products, but they're just new discoveries to me and they're favorites. So I'm going to go through face, eyes, lips kind of in that order. I try and keep it as ordered as possible, as in order as possible, but sometimes that doesn't happen, but we'll try anyway. So I'm going to start off with my primers. There was 3 primers that I was loving this year. The first one I want to start off with, which was the kind of like first primer that I was loving throughout the year, and this is the Essence Fresh and Fit Awake primer. Oh my god guys, I absolutely adore this primer. I use this a lot during the summer. I brought this to Vietnam and China with me. This kind of like was my go-to dewy like primer, and I'm not really a big dewy primer person because I like to have my face looking a little bit more matte because I am very oily, so my natural oils come throughout the day. However, this looked sensational on my skin, so I applied this on before I put my foundation on, whatever my foundation might be, and it kind of just made my skin look a bit more youthful and glowy and fresh and awake. It smells like cranberries and it's just absolutely amazing. So it has this kind of like glowy effect to it, kind of like the MAC strobe cream, if you remember that. That's still a favorite of mine to this day, but it gives you that like glowy hue to the skin. There's no glitter particles or anything like that in it. It's just absolutely beautiful. Love it. And I use this non-stop throughout the whole of 2018. It was just a winner chicken dinner for me. Next up, I want to talk about this primer. This is the Infallible Mattifying Primer. A subscriber recommended this to me. I did like an entire video dedicated to subscribers' favorite makeup, and one of my subscribers said that this was their holy grail primer, and she was like, you have to use it, you'll love it because you've oily skin as well, and it will just be great at mattifying your skin. So I found that this was absolutely insane at mattifying my skin. I was gonna say keeping my face on all day, keeping my foundation on all day. I just really enjoyed this. Kind of like a silicone based primer. If you're not into them, you may not like this. It reminds me a lot of the Smashbox primer, the Photo Focus. Oh my god, can't remember the name of that one, but you remember like the OG silicone based primer from Smashbox? It reminds me a lot of that, but like at a fraction of the price. Thank you to whoever recommended it to me because I still love it to this day. And then this is kind of like the newest primer favorite of mine, and it's the Essence Prime and Studio Mattifying Mattifying Pore Minimizing Primer. Wow, it's a mouthful and a half. And I used up one entire bottle of this, like a whole bottle of this, and I had mentioned that it was like my favorite. I couldn't find it in my local Essence counters at all, but Essence kindly sent me out 2 new bottles of this stuff, so thank you so much for that, Essence. Highly appreciate that. This is the primer. It's kind of like a black, well, it's like a grey kind of color, but once you blend it into the skin, it like disappears. It has, oh my god, it has an iconic smell for me. It reminds me of when I moved into the apartment first and I only had this primer and nothing else because I had no makeup here obviously, and I only moved my makeup in like last week, so I still have been kind of not having my makeup here. However, this primer was the only primer I had and it was just used to death. Hence why I'm on my 2nd bottle of it. So guys, if you have oily skin and you're near an Essence counter, pick it up because you won't regret it. It is amazing at just making your skin just look amazingly primed. I find all those primers actually like minimize the look of my pores. Don't necessarily make it like them disappear, but they do make them look a little less kind of obvious or in your face. For foundations this year, there was one that stood leaps and bounds above the rest. I know this isn't technically like drugstore, but it is super affordable, and it is the My Perfect Color foundation from Penny's. Guys, I raved about this, I'd say around maybe March, and I've been wearing it non-stop. Actually, it was March because I remember we were snowed in and I remember doing a review of this foundation around that time. This foundation is incredible and it's €6. I'm in the shade Toffee. If you see it in your local Penny's or Primark, pick it up and just give it a go. Like, even if you're not like in the market for a new foundation, it's super affordable, and I'm telling you that the coverage from this is comparable to Estee Lauder Double Wear. I did like a side-by-side comparison. I also did say in that video as well that I found it to be like Estee Lauder Double Wear, and they've since made the name a little bit more. Hang on, this is an old bottle. I'll show you what they've done. So they took it off the market and I thought it was gone, but they actually repackaged it. So when I bought it back in March, it looked like this, and now it looks like this. So it's actually called, it used to be called the My Perfect Color, and now it's called the Double Coverage Matte Foundation, to kind of like play on the Double Wear foundation. So that's what the two bottles look like. So guys, honestly, I would highly rate this. Like, you can see I'm on my second bottle already because it's so amazing. The next foundation I want to talk about is the Lasting Finish from Rimmel. This is the breathable one. I was obsessed with the one with the red lid for so long, but they discontinued my color and it just drove me insane. I know you can use darkening drops, whatever, but it was kind of like the tone of the foundation. There's nothing that darkening drops can do. It's not that I needed it darker. It was like the tone of it. It was like the perfect undertone for my skin. However, they do have it in the breathable, which was number 203, if you're wondering what my shade was. And I tried this out like earlier in the year and was pleasantly surprised by this foundation. I actually didn't think I was going to like this foundation as much as I did, because I was so stuck on the one with the red lid, and I was like, no, they've just destroyed my whole life. You know, the dramatics that you have when a foundation is like discontinued, especially one in your shade that was so perfect. However, this foundation is amazing. It's bomb.com, love it, and I really rate it. It comes with a doe foot wand. I couldn't remember when I was doing my declutter of how much I liked this foundation, and then I went back and looked at other reviews earlier in the year and other times when I was wearing this foundation. I was like, oh my god, yeah, that was an insane foundation. And I started wearing it like more in the last like week and really love it. I just really was blown away by this. It wasn't quite as good as the Maybelline, what was that, Maybelline Superstay that we discovered late last year. However, this is amazing for a full coverage light wearing foundation, so it doesn't feel heavy on your skin. It actually feels like you're wearing nothing, but it gives you amazing coverage, and I really recommend this. And it's so inexpensive because it's like Rimmel, and you know, what more can I say about it? This foundation came out, I want to say, in September, and I've just been obsessed with them since. And it's the Revolution Conceal and Define foundations. Now, I have two shades. I have F8 and F12. This I find a little bit difficult to actually get my perfect match in. I find to this day, I still don't know the undertone of my skin. I don't know whether I'm like neutral or if I'm warmer. I have no idea. I'm definitely not cool toned. I know that for a fact because I have tried like cool toned foundations and they look awful. I mean, they kind of like make me look a bit ashy or something. So I'm on the warmer neutral spectrum. However, I just find that this is kind of hard to get my perfect match in it. So I have F8 and F12 to give me the perfect match. F8 is a lovely, just neutral kind of undertone, but then with a bit of F12 in it, which is slightly more warmer, it just makes the color of the foundation look closer to my natural skin tone. I absolutely love this. It is very full coverage, I will say that, and it also can go a little bit cakey if you are heavy-handed with it, but just be, you know, light with it and don't like over apply it. It also comes with a doe foot wand, but I do find that this doe foot wand doesn't pick up as much product as the breathable. And for that reason, I just kind of find myself going back in and out of the packaging. I just wished it had a pump, but it is quite full coverage. Like, I don't know, it just covers everything. Won't leave a blemish, freckle, nothing on your skin. So just be aware of that if you don't really like overly full coverage foundations. It is very pretty on the skin, but just like I said, you need a bit of a light hand with it. So next up, I want to talk about concealers. I've only got two that I really enjoyed this year from the drugstore, from affordable brands. So the first one I want to talk about is the Colourpop one. Yes, I know it's kind of hard to get here in Ireland, but they do ship worldwide. It's not a drugstore product, but it is a very good concealer, and it costs like, I think, €4 or €5. I absolutely love it. I have the colour Light 20, and I also have Light 15, which is way too light for me. So Light 20 is still on a little bit on the light side, but it does look really nice underneath my eyes. I used up a whole one of these. I can't remember what shade it was. It was, I think, a little bit of a darker shade, so I need to figure out what shade that was because I want to repurchase that particular shade. But it is really brightening and really light underneath the eyes. It's super full coverage, but it doesn't separate or break down underneath the eyes, and I really like it. So there's no like fading or creasing or anything like that, and it's great for the price. The next concealers I want to talk about are from Make Revolution. For some reason, I had in my mind that these came out last year and not this year, but I looked back through videos and yeah, they came out this year. They came out earlier in the year, and I got the colours C5 and C7 here. These again are quite like the foundation. A little bit of this goes a long way, and I find this very comparable to Tarte Shape Tape, and I did actually do a review side by side comparing them. I know a lot of people said they're not the same, that they prefer the Tarte Shape Tape. However, I don't really notice too much of a difference. Maybe it takes somebody a little bit more professional than me to kind of like notice a difference, but I didn't really. I found that these were quite brightening underneath the eyes. They didn't crease on me, and they were super full coverage without like kind of like caking or anything like that. I really enjoyed these, and they've lasted so long. I've got them like in March, April, I don't know when I got them, earlier in the year, and I still have a little bit left. C7 is definitely more my go-to colour than C5. C5 can look a little bit white and ashy under my eyes, and I don't go for it that often. The next product I want to talk about I can't find anywhere. It's not in my possession currently, but it is the Catrice darkening drops. The darkening drops more so than the lightening drops, and they are like €7 I think. Obviously from Catrice, they're super affordable. I bought the darkening drops, I feel like before the summer, and I use them so much because they are a neutral dark shade. They don't like alter the look of any foundation that I have, whether it be like depending on the undertone of the foundation. It doesn't alter it at all. It doesn't alter the coverage of the foundation, and it does not alter the longevity of the foundation. I tried darkening drops from other brands and hated them, especially the Body Shop darkening drops. I thought they were the worst darkening drops I've ever used. They made my foundation kind of like an ashy kind of undertone to it. I didn't like it, and I felt like it changed the consistency of my foundation. But the Catrice ones you cannot go wrong with, and I find they're great if you just want to darken up your foundation in the summertime, you know, when you get a little bit more tanned, but you most certainly don't want to go out and spend like another, I don't know, €20 on a foundation. They work on every foundation that I've used them with. So next I want to talk about powders, and the first one is the RCMA powder. Guys, I've had this since March, I want to say, and I haven't even made a dent in it, and I use it quite a lot. It is the no color powder from RCMA. I do have the same issue that I think most people have with this, is the packaging. Like every single time I open the packaging, like a whole load of it just pops out everywhere. So I need to kind of open the packaging, tilt it upside down, and then like kind of use whatever came out on the lid. I hate those powders that have is a silica in them, and they're just like really like, oh, I don't know, they feel horrible underneath my eyes. I don't know if this has silica in it. If it does, it doesn't have that much of it, and I can use it, you know, with free reign. So I usually apply this underneath my eyes just to kind of like bake, because it doesn't have any powder or color, so it's great for baking. I have used this all over my face a number of times. I just don't like the way the packaging is. It's not designed very friendly. I might get something else to put it into, like a little sifter or something, because just the packaging is not great. Another powder I want to give a shout out to one of my subscribers for recommending this. This is the Fit Me Matte and Poreless. Subscriber didn't actually recommend this particular powder. She recommended the loose one from Maybelline. I still have to get around to buying that, but I thought it was this one just from her description. She did correct me when I did make the video, but I found a gem by making this mistake and picking this one up. This is what the powder looks like. It's just a pressed powder. This is from the Fit Me Matte and Poreless range, and I just absolutely love this. I'm wearing it on my skin today. I wear it all the time. It just fixes my foundation, but it doesn't leave my face dry or anything like that. And anywhere that I do get oily throughout the day, it's great at kind of holding back the oil. So I do recommend this to, I'd say, dry and oily skin. Definitely if you have oily skin, you will love this, because I never need to top up my powder throughout the day if I wear this. Even in like the summer months when my face does be sweating, I still didn't need to top up the powder throughout the day. I just found this like an amazing powder. Really, really great for the price. I think it was like €7. And it's just a real hidden gem for me, because I haven't steered away from my Rimmel Stay Matte Press powder in like years. And now I think I've replaced it with something I like even better. I'm not saying that I dislike my Rimmel. I mean, it's like an OG for me. However, I do think that this just looks nicer on my skin, and sometimes I can find that the Rimmel Stay Matte can be a bit like hard in the pan to try and like get the product loose, whereas this is just really soft and finely milled and looks amazing. There was only one kind of bronzer that I was loving this year, and it's from the brand called Miss Lynn. You can now get this in pennies, so it is an affordable brand. It's also on Beauty Bay for next to nothing, and this is what the bronzer looks like. I absolutely love the packaging of it. It kind of gives me Benefit slash, what was that other brand that I really like, the Balm vibes, and I just really like the packaging of it. And the products are so inexpensive. But definitely if you want to check out something from the brand and you're not really sure what to try, I would recommend the bronzers. I have tried the eyeshadows. Have I tried the eyeshadows? No, I haven't. I've tried the highlighter and I didn't like that. And the blushes I still have to give a go. But the bronzer, you cannot go wrong with that. You need the tiniest amount. It's super pigmented. I actually was shocked at how pigmented this is. You might not be able to see too much of it there, but it's just to kind of add a little bit of contour to the face without like being overkill. And this is a new discovery for me this year. I'd never tried the NYX contour palettes before, ever. I know loads of people have used them for years and I'm like so late to the game, but I tried it for the first time this year and I just absolutely love it. So I use like most of the colors. The really dark one is too dark for my skin, but the rest of them are amazing for contouring. I just love this. Pigmentation in this is insane, so just be very careful. I do like the banana shade. I'm not really mad about this shade here, and I don't like the highlighter down here at the end. I find it too chalky and powdery and it's just not my cup of tea at all. But everything else in it is great, so if you're just buying it literally for like 6 products, it's still very, very good. I think this is a pretty inexpensive palette as well. I'm not particularly sure the price of it. I was kindly gifted it from NYX, so thank you so much for that, NYX. But I do recommend trying it if you haven't already and you're looking for like a contour palette, and it reminds me of like the layout of the Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's really, really good. And yeah, what more can I say about a contouring palette? For blush, I want to talk about the Morphe Trio. This has been like my ride or die this whole entire year since discovering it. The shade I have here is Pop of Rose. They sent me out the entire collection. I was so grateful for it, but like honestly, this is the only one that I really, really reach for. It is my favorite, and I particularly love the shade Driven in the middle and then Legendary on the end. So those 2 shades there, because they're just perfect for my skin tone. And you probably can't even see Legendary because it's just a really nice like rose color, but it's not like too intense. You can build it up definitely. The shade Hustle is too dark for my skin, but definitely nicer for deeper skin tones. And I think it's a really versatile palette actually. I think you can use this if you have like light skin tones because you just use a light hand. If you're medium, this will show up lovely. And then if you have deep skin tones, this is great as well to build up, so it will show up on the cheeks. So I do like that this trio kind of has something for everyone in it. I just really like it, and it's a lovely lovely tone. And these trios come in tons of different colors, so there's something for everyone. This is just my personal favorite. And again, another product that I've lost in the move is the highlighters from Morphe. Oh my god, I absolutely love the highlighters from Morphe. They're amazing. They're super high, like just really, really creamy and nice on the skin, and they don't like leave sparkles or anything on the skin. I highly rate them. I definitely recommend them to those of you who are like want to try different highlighters. Maybe you don't want to like go too crazy on the price, because I think they're about €7 or something like that, so they're really inexpensive and I highly rate them. So I'm sorry I don't actually have the product with me. It's definitely somewhere floating around in my home house because I didn't bring it with me in the move, so I'll have to locate it. But I have been using that all year long. I just, like I said, the last couple of months, I don't know where it is. Very sad, but it is a favorite of mine this year. It's been my go-to highlight, and that's why I'm raging I don't have it, because I wanted it in my possession. Next, I want to talk about a blush palette. This was such a good surprise for me. Again, a subscriber recommended it. It's the Hot Spice blush palette from Makeup Revolution. This again, I think was close to maybe €6, and you get 8 blushes in it. Well, these are kind of like more like highlight shades. I don't actually really dip into those shades at the bottom, but you can if you want. I mix everything together. Like I literally go through all of these shades. I think that this is a beautiful, beautiful blush palette. I'm really into these kind of like rosy, kind of peachy shades, like nothing kind of too extreme on the cheeks, like no like reds or anything like that. I'm just not into them, but I just think that this is a lovely neutrally peachy kind of toned blush palette, and I highly rate it for the price, and the quality of them is really good. It lasts all day, and I really like that palette, and I like the layout of it, and it's really handy, and it's small as well, so you can bring it traveling with you. And that is basically all I have to talk about on face. I'm going to move on to eyes, and we have a few products from there. The first ones I want to talk about are obviously going to be like a no-brainer for you guys. If you've been watching me all year long, you will know that I've raved about these palettes for so long. They're the Reloaded palettes from Makeup Revolution. They were €4. I picked this one up initially. Hang on, if I can open it. This is the Iconic Division. I picked this one up initially because I thought it was so similar to the Subculture palette, and you know how much I love Subculture. I'm like that rare person that liked it. I just loved that the shades were quite similar, and I just thought maybe I might be able to dupe it for those of you who wanted to try Subculture but you didn't want to spend €40 and you're kind of worried about the quality, if it was going to work or you're going to get a dud palette or whatever. So I tried this and I really liked it. It's like almost, if not identical in shade to the Subculture, so save yourself the money if you don't want to get Subculture and you're kind of worried that it's not going to work for you, because the Makeup Revolution ones are just as good. So that is the Iconic Division, and this is the Neutrals 2. I just picked this one up because I just thought it looked really nice. There's lots of red tones in it, and I've used this loads. Like both of these palettes I kind of pick up quite regularly and use them. When I see them I'm like, oh yeah, I must dip into that again. I just think that they're really great palettes for €4, and you just get really nice looks out of them. They blend quite well. They're not the most like amazing eyeshadow palettes on the market, but they are €4 and you'll get a pretty decent quality, I think, for €4. There's palettes and pennies that are way more expensive than these and they are not a patch on them, so definitely check them out. There's loads now. Like when I first bought them, I think there was only 4. I think they have like 10 now, so there's something for everyone. There's like purple ones and blue ones and these kind of ones. There's something for everyone. I rate them. So I want to move on to another eye product. This is from Catrice. This is the Liquid Metals Long Lasting Liquid Eyeshadows. These are a total like underrated product. I've never heard anyone talk about these this year, but they remind me a lot of the Stila Magnificent Metals, and I just loved the product. Like I just thought they were great. Like they're like this foiled liquid eyeshadow, and I was obsessed with this. I used the bronze one almost to like where it like dried up, so I threw that one out. So I just have this one left, and this is in the shade Daily Dose of Rose, and I just really liked this one. It is gorgeous. It's not everybody's cup of tea because it is like quite a metallic-y, shiny eyeshadow, and I also find like maybe not everyone's into liquid eyeshadows, but they're really decent quality. Something different as well from a drugstore brand. I feel like very few brands bring out things like this and do it well, if that makes any sense. Like I got some from Pennies and they're quite nice as well, but some of them are a bit streaky. This just goes on really evenly and opaque, and I just really like the quality of it. It's a great product. I wish they bring out more colors because I feel like they're all quite neutral and a little bit kind of like safe. I'd love if they brought out like a bright green or like even a lime color, like something really bright and out there. I know Catrice is kind of like catering for everyone. I know they're not going to be like, oh yeah, let's bring out a bright blue because that's what everyone wants. They're realistic and most people want neutral things, but I think this is really pretty. Obviously I couldn't but not talk about these. How did I only discover these in 2018? It's like the biggest mystery of life. I don't even know myself. I found that the Lash Princess mascaras from Essence are by far my favorite mascaras on this planet. I know last year I talked a lot about the Catrice Rockature. I still love that mascara, but I feel like these are just way better. Like I just think that there's something amazing about the quality of this. I just feel like it is beyond a drugstore quality. It's like high-end quality. I'd pay €20 for this mascara. I just love it that much. Thankfully, it's only like $4.50 at most Essence counters, which just makes me even happier. This mascara gives me lashes for days. I absolutely adore it. There is nothing better than this mascara. If you haven't tried it, just run out and get it. You're just gonna love it. So I recommend the one in the orange bottle and the one with the green or kind of like mint shade. There is a purple one. I don't like the wand on that one, but these two are just great, and mixed together it's like just the best combo ever. Okay, I'm going to mention this because it is an eye product, but I don't really want to harp on too much about it because I still kind of want to talk a little bit more about it in the new year. Beauty Bay, their eyeshadow palettes, I think they're called the Origin palettes. What are they actually called? I don't know what they're actually called, but this is the Origin palette, right? So they have like 3 in the range, and I've been sent all 3. I'm so grateful for that, so thank you so much. There is 42 shadows in this palette, and it's €25. So not technically drugstore, but it's not by any means a high-end price in any way, shape or form for 42 shadows. This will do you for your life. Like honestly, is there anything more that you would need in life than this palette? Maybe like a couple of pops of colour, single eyeshadows, but for a neutral eyeshadow, this is kind of all you would really want. It has everything in it, from even like your mustard yellows to pinks, and it has like my favorite types of purples and everything in it. There's black in it. These shadows are incredible. The quality of them, the consistency of them, oh my god, I'm just blown away, and I just cannot believe that I've had this sitting down there for the longest time ever. It's been sitting down in my storage unit and not been used. Look how pretty the colours are. How could I not not include this. 2018 was obviously the year that they brought these out, so I'm going to mention them. They weren't technically a favorite of mine throughout the year, but I used them today, and I think you get a very clear opinion on a palette like almost straight away, whether you love it or not. And I am obsessed. Like I said, for €25 you have 42 shades, and there's 3 different types of these palettes, so there was something for everyone. I just think that this is an absolutely incredible palette. It's a little bit big and bulky for kind of traveling with, but to be honest, I would try and squeeze this into any bag that I had, because it's just everything that I need. And like I said, I used it today to create my eye look with a little bit of glitter. This is my New Year's Eve look, guys. It's coming up soon. I just highly rate these eyeshadow palettes, and like I said, they're totally inexpensive. I hate to mention it because it's not a product I've used throughout the whole of 2018, but I feel like it needed to be talked about. Okay, so my last product for eyes is the Paradise Pomade Ecstatic. This is basically an eyebrow pomade from L'Oreal, and I absolutely love it. So it comes from their Paradise range, and it's kind of similar to the Benefit, the packaging wise. I used this a lot earlier in the year. I haven't used it that much lately, but this was an insanely good eyebrow pomade, especially for the price. I think it cost about €7. Again, this was a really underrated product. Not that many people talked about this, and I loved it. I actually need to get back into using it because I picked it up out of my collection now. It's great to have it back in my possession, so I will be using this again. But it is a great eyebrow pomade if you're looking for something really affordable, and it lasts all day, and it keeps your eyebrows intact and doesn't make them streak, or doesn't make them blur or anything like that. It's a great product. Okay, so finally I'm going to talk about lips. I only have 2 products for lips because the majority of my lip products were just products that I've had throughout the year, and I didn't bother buying anything new because I kind of have everything I need. So the first product I want to talk about is from NYX, and this is their lip suedes, and I picked this up just on a whim. I'll tell you how I actually acquired this. I was on Feel Unique or Look Fantastic, and I wanted to get free posted packaging, and instead of spending a £5 on the posted packaging, I'd spend a £5 on a lip liner, because that's a little bit more sensible. So I did look for the cheapest item online to just bring my total up so that I could get the free posted packaging, and I ended up picking this lip liner up, and it ended up being a holy grail for me. It's in the shade Toulouse. That's it there. I don't know if you can see it there. They have the suede liquid lipsticks, but this is their lip pencils that kind of go with the liquid lipstick. I absolutely am obsessed with this. I use this non-stop, to be honest, and I highly rate this lip pencil. Like I said, complete accident that it came into my possession, because nobody wants to pay posted packaging, and that's how you end up with amazing lip liners. Final product I want to talk about is a lipstick. This is from the brand Note. I have no idea where Note is from, but I feel like it's either the Netherlands or it could be even Germany. I haven't a clue, but I know that it's a European brand. You can get it in Ireland in most major pharmacies. They sent this out to me. I have very rarely kind of went up to a Note counter and kind of looked around it. I don't know, I kind of overlook it. But now, since getting this product, I'll definitely be checking out more of their stands and kind of seeing what else they have. So this is in the shade Happy Tan. It's their lipstick, and it's a matte lipstick. I feel like this is only about €5, and it's absolutely gorgeous. That's the shade there. I wore this in the whole of October. I don't think I wore any other lipstick other than this in October. Absolutely obsessed with the shade, obsessed with the formula, and now I want more of these lipsticks. I am doing a decluttering series on my channel, guys. I'm aware of that, but maybe in the new year I might dip into new lipsticks. Please don't kill me for saying that. I want more makeup. I know I'm trying to get rid of it. Anyway, that comes to the end of our 2018 drugstore favorites. I guarantee I've said 2017 at some stage in this video a few times. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I loved making it for you, and I loved talking about my favorites of 2018. What was your favorite drugstore product 2018 or new discovery? I can't wait to find out what new discoveries of makeup lay ahead of us in 2019. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Thank you for supporting me throughout the whole of 2018, even though I've been a little bit of a crap person to watch this year, but next year is going to be so much more fun. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you all in my next video. Mwah! Bye guys!